and welcome back to you. Thank you for joining us.
And welcome if this is the first time you're joining us.
Yeah, for sure. We are having fun just doing this for us.
Yes.
And it's nice that for those of you who come back and see us regularly, we appreciate it.
We should probably say we are a close-knit family.
Yeah.
Coming to you from Armstrong.
Yes, we are. Carry on.
In the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada.
I am Sue.
I'm Michael.
And we are in Knitcast.
Yes, we are.
We are following Mike's adventures as a newer knitter.
Newer, yes.
And our
ongoing yarn and knitting addiction.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Addiction. So yeah, not much going on in the skies above Armstrong.
Nope, it's just been cold.
Yeah. And, but that moves us straight into
Alongs.
So we have been working on, and we're running an alarm.
An alarm. Yes, an alarm.
We're running an along for the year 2019 of the, doing a temperature scarf, blanket, shawl, whatever anyone feels like making.
Yeah.
And it's nice. We've got a few people who are alonging with us.
Oh,
so
that's good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, and yay to you.
Did we say it's the 15th of January and this is episode 39?
No, we got all, because you skipped ahead on me.
Shoot.
So,
okay.
It is Tuesday, January 15th, 2019, and this is episode 39.
Almost 40.
Wait, see, okay, so last time we forgot to say welcome.
Yeah.
And so we put that in, and then Mike jumped ahead on me, and it all got confused. So we're still at the along segment. So here is where I like this because there's not really a right or wrong side to it.
Yeah.
So my temperature scarf at its current iteration? I don't know if that's the right word. So there we are with a couple weeks down into the year. I'm using the pattern for the zigzag scarf, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I just changed the stitch counts to work for what I wanted it to do. And I'm just doing an I-cord down the edge. I explained how to do that in our last episode.
Yep.
And carrying my other colors up inside the I-cord. And as you can see, you can't see them.
Yep.
Well, except for a couple places where I blubbed up. But they're not really obvious. And no ends to weave in.
Yeah.
Yes! So that's where I am at with that.
Alrighty, and here, I'm just doing a basic garter scarf.
Can I just... Yep. I'm using Allison Barnes yarn, and I'm using her Struggle and Strength line. Yes.
I'm just doing a basic garter scarf. Not doing any fancy I-cord edges, just... Don't fall over on me. Maybe fall over on me. And so here's where I am so far. A lot of light blue in there and some dark blue, and I am not doing an I-cord edge. I am still sort of weaving in my edges as I go, or my ends, I suppose. It's gotten a little gross in a couple places, but whatever. I'm having fun while knitting this, and I'm using... What am I using?
Is it Stell or Barocco? No,
it's Barocco. Barocco Vintage. Yes, their line of yarns just on straight needles, and yeah.
All right. So let us know on our Ravelry, in our Ravelry group, Close Knit Family. We do have a thread for our temperature scarfages.
Yep.
You need to get a picture in there.
I need to get a picture in there.
And let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you're joining us. And
And Jude perfectly filled the silence there.
And there's Jude back.
Yeah.
Did you know that Jude made an appearance in our very first episode?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was watching you watch it, so Jude
Yeah.
I saw Jude make an appearance, but I had completely forgotten that Jude had made an appearance. Hi, Jude.
Jude's our cat that likes everybody to shower.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and we do. Just to be clear, we do shower.
Yep, but never enough for Jude's liking.
And yeah, and also to be clear, I'm not watching our old episodes because I'm super conceited. I am watching them because we have plans for our like anniversary type episodes, and
yes,
I'm doing some research.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway.
So.
All right. So, do you remember last week I told you about my friend whose yarn got left in Spain?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
And all along it was actually
here
at the yarn store.
Yeah.
And all the postal and 6 months of not knowing where her yarn was.
Yeah.
So there's more.
Oh no.
So the story ended. So to catch some of you up, the Cole's Notes version, yarn got left in Spain in a box that was going to be mailed home after a trip. And then the box got refused for shipping, but they'd already come home, and the yarn was sitting in a post office in Spain. And after 6 months of, I don't care about anything else in the box, but I have to get my yarn back. And then it turns out that in order to get the yarn back, her husband was on a business trip in the UK.
Okay.
Flew to Spain.
Oh.
To get the box.
Okay.
That a kind soul had gone and rescued from the post office.
Okay.
So he went and got the box, blah, 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 brought it home.
Yeah. Get
home, open it up, no yarn. So now my friend was, they stole my yarn, those people, we should never have trusted them. She went to the yarn store a couple weeks ago, and lo and behold, the yarn had actually been there the whole time. It had just sort of been lost into a back corner, and that was quite funny. But she went home from the yarn store.
Yes.
This is the new part of the story. And she told her husband, she goes in going, "You'll never guess what happened."
Right.
To her husband. Whoever found my yarn in Spain
brought it to the...
mailed it back to the yarn store. And here it is. I guess her husband was just like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
He didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Anyway, besides the fact that she is knitting happily with her special yarn, I think that's the end. Well, we'll see if there's more to the story of the yarn that didn't get lost and left in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought that was really funny.
That's really funny, yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Yarn acquisitions.
Mere moments ago.
I walked in the door and said, "We need to film!"
So we did.
So I hadn't even pulled this stuff out of the bag yet. All right. If you have been following along with us, you will know that my tablet's upside down.
I'm not sure they'd know that.
I know. But I have been... Gotta make sure I'm not showing any pattern parts. I have been trying to find an appropriate yarn to knit Nightfall by Ellie of Skein Knits. So, why has this been a little bit of a challenge? Because, well, okay, so obviously this was knit with a suggested yarn that is dyed in Norway.
Okay.
And just so you know, the pattern for this is available as a download in a book, Knitting with Gradients. It's available on Ravelry. And there are so many good patterns I highly recommend getting the book. So, trying to figure out the gauge, because I thought I could use Jamieson and Smith's 2-ply jumper weight, and our local store has lots of Jamieson and Smith and like tons of colors. So I was like, okay, I can probably find a gradient among all the colors that Jamieson and Smith have. So I actually had a gradient laid out, and I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And then when I referred back to the pattern, just to sort of look at yardage and stuff,
Yep.
it was like, okay, these two things don't compute.
Okay.
The yarn weight and the gauge and suggested needle size and stuff, like nothing matched up.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, well, that's not going to work.
Oh.
So then I tried another yarn that I had at home, and I decided that that would be okay. And it's the yarn I used for knitting this, actually, which we'll talk about in finished objects.
Okay.
And I was like, well, yeah, that, you know what, that should work. And it's
Okay.
more of a DK weight.
Okay.
But an actual, it's not, it's funny. I love this yarn so much. It's kind of, it falls sort of right in between a DK and a fingering weight. It's about 300, well, what is it? It's 382 yards per 100 grams. And anyway, I was able to get gauge, not at the same needle size, like a whole needle size, like from a 3.5 up to a 4.5.
Okay.
Crazy. But they only have sort of like 3 colors in blue, 3 colors in gray, white, 3 colors in, orangey, yellow, browns, 3 colors in purples. And I needed a 6-color gradient.
Okay.
So I said, that's not going to work. So I went to my other favorite yarn store in Vernon, A Twist of Yarn, and searched all over there. And again, I just couldn't find anything that A, was available in a gradient, and B, was in the right weight range.
Okay.
I was thinking I could approach one of my friendly neighborhood yarn dyers and say, could you could you dye me up a gradient? I was going to need like 12 skeins of yarn.
Yeah.
But I know they all use superwash.
And you're kind of off the superwash.
I don't want to use superwash. I want a crunchy wool.
Okay.
So anyway, I sat there and I looked and I said, all right, I'm going to use this yarn.
Okay.
And so I've got sort of, and I wanted to do mine in grays, but again, like I said, they don't have grays. So I'm starting with, well, let's start with the lightest color, I guess.
Okay.
So this is a very pale gray color, which will be followed by, oh gosh, when I had this lined up, it looked beautiful. I had it lined up in the store. That doesn't work, does it? This by this by this. Okay. Then this is kind of a tealy blue-green color, a little bit heathered.
I might even call that aquamarine.
Aquamarine.
Which I think is what it says on the label.
Oh, look at that. And then this is, oh, good call. Let's use the colorway names. This is denim.
Yeah.
And then we've got smoked. And indigo. And, oh yeah.
And anthracite.
Anthracite, which is a charcoaly black color.
What was the first one again?
The first one was light gray. I think I said it's a light gray.
I think you did. I think you said it was a pale gray.
Okay.
But same thing.
So so this is Patagonia Organic Merino.
Do you need me to? There you go.
I'm not sure if this is the order I had them laid out in.
I think this one was...
It might have been more like... No. Or this one could have been more... Anyway, I had them laid out in the store and Anyway, those are the colors I'm using. That's the lightest, that's the darkest. So this one will be mostly trim. Mm-hmm. So the ribbings, the collar, and the button band. Mm-hmm. This will be the flea stitch, which is throughout, and the little trees down at the bottom. And some of the... no, it doesn't come in. And then these 4 will be the gradient down the sweater and also the color work up at the top.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I can't remember. I had it laid out and I was very happy with it. And so, there we go.
Okay.
So, that is going to be for my Nightfall sweater, patterned by Elliot's Game Gear.
Okay.
And, yeah, so Patagonia, organic merino, 100 grams skein. It's 100% wool. And it is 100 grams is 350 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
Faux.
Faux.
This is a faux.
It's a faux.
Okay.
Finished object.
Ooh. Thank God I get to take it off now. So this is made out of the same yarn as I just talked about, only in the color cinnamon.
Ooh.
And this is the fintry shawl.
Mm-hmm. Big boo.
Maybe we'll put in some pictures that show it kind of nicely, or this is pretty good. The fintry shawl by Knox Mountain Knits.
I had a brain fart too, so don't feel
Look,
bad.
it kind of matches your... kind of matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this was a great knit. And, oh, how light is this?
It is. Oh yeah, it's pretty light.
How light is that? Everyone who's used this yarn has commented on how light the yarn is.
Yeah.
The pattern, I love the pattern. I love the way it came out. I would have been happier. I actually made my own chart to follow for the lace work because I did find following it, peekaboo, following it, what am I trying to say? Following it written out, I kept screwing up and I caught a lot of my mistakes, but there's one that I missed and it's right there. I've got this weird little eyelet sticking out in the middle of nowhere there. But I had to keep ripping back and it was kind of not making me happy. I love the little picots on the ends, and if you can see, they line up with the lines, the lines of the shawl, which I thought was really cute. And yeah, it's a nice light shawl, and I think it's just the right size. And yeah, so that is the Fintry by Knox Mountain Knits.
Yeah.
Fintry is a park, a provincial park near Kelowna on Okanagan Lake. And for those who are wondering what the name Fintry is about.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of Foes.
That's the end of Foes.
Whips.
Whips.
Works in progress.
Yep, I am continuing to work on the Catherine Ann shawl. I have actually got, a fair amount of progress on that. So there you go. I think when last I showed this off, I was just down here, and so now I've done all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got some lace work in there, a couple of I don't know what you'd call those, pearl rows.
Yeah.
A little bit of lace work at the top, and I'm just about to start the German short row section.
Yes.
Yes.
And here is what the shawl looks like finished.
So I'm here.
Yeah.
And about to do all this. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the shawl pattern that I made up.
Yep.
Because I wanted a shawl with a longer wingspan and not as much depth this way.
Yeah, and it also has that I-cord edge, so you run your ends just up there, and
you run your yarn down there, so you're not having to cut it and weave it in all the time. Yep.
Yeah.
And Mike is test knitting it for me.
Yep.
I have a couple other test knitters. I'm not sure they're actually test knitting.
Oh well.
But I will find out tonight if they are or if they aren't. So I am also re-knitting it.
Yes. Oh, I am using Isis Fiber Arts, their DK weight. One of these is Black Mondo Grass, and the other is the one that's really hard to pronounce. I've lost the thing. Oh, there it is. I want to say it's Thuringium? Eryngium. Eryngium.
And what size needles are we on? I don't even know the answer to that question.
These are worn off.
Mine are 4.5.
Cool, 4.5 is the answer.
I'm pretty sure 4.5 is the answer. Okay, so I am also re-knitting it. So the original pattern was knit with Allison Barnes yarn.
Yes.
And I am re-knitting it. I'm using yarn from Lolo Did It.
Yep.
And this is the colorway I Heart Michonne.
Yep.
And this is Blackberry Jam.
Yes.
And again, yeah, I love the way this shows off the hand-dyed yarns.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying a little modification.
Okay. Oh, you're throwing in some...
I'm throwing in just some lace bumps in this.
In the short row section.
In the short row, what do you call it? Stocking stitch section.
Okay.
I don't know. I find that section boring. Other people have said they really like the way that it shows off the yarn.
Yeah.
So that is, a work in progress for both of us.
Yeah.
That's the Catherine Ann shawl, designed by me, and we'll see where it goes. That is one of my works in progress.
Okay.
I bought you a present while I was out.
You bought me a present?
And I totally forgot.
Okay.
I bought me a present and I bought you a present.
Oh!
I got both of us, these ones are yours,
Okay.
some needle stoppers.
Okay.
Yarn stopper things to stop the yarn from falling off the end of your needles.
Okay.
Just because.
Nice.
You know, it's only money, right?
Yep.
All right, works in progress. We've looked at the temperature shawl. We've looked at that other one. And so I guess my last work in progress is my current pair of socks, which I'm happy to say I have now turned the heel on.
Yay!
So I am using my pattern for socks,
Yep.
which I did write up finally.
Yeah.
And then I knit it following my pattern.
Yeah.
Not doing, just what I know I need to do.
Yeah.
And I think we're good to go now. With that.
Okay.
So these are a toe-up sock with a heel turn and a heel flap and a gusset. Mm-hmm. And I did choose to do the blueberry waffle pattern across the top of the sock, and it will run up the leg now as I go up the leg.
Okay.
And so again, anyone who's been following us knows that I have a problem reading my own patterns.
Yes.
And yeah, one of these heel turns I did wrong. Following my own pattern. What I do. Anyway, it's all right. And I will say too, on my my Catherine Ann shawl.
Yeah.
I had to rip back the entire. I've completed that short row section, the one that I'm working on right now, that I'm now putting the lace holes in.
Yeah.
I had to rip that back.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I was following in my head. I was following a direction that's part of the socks.
Oh no.
And not the directions for the shawl. So I got to the end and I counted my stitches and I'm like, okay, I can see being out a stitch or two.
Yeah.
Here, but I was out like 15 stitches.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I looked at it and I was like, shoot.
Reading your knitting. Reading your knitting.
Shoot, I did the wrong thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. So good times.
Yeah.
So we've done faux.
We've done faux.
We've done whips. We've done yarn acquisitions.
Yeah.
Temperature scarf.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hi.
What do you bring to the table?
I bring to the table a game that is deceptively large and deceptively simple. I bring to the table possibly the widest box I own. Concordia. Here, Concordia by Mac Gertz. Concordia is a strategy game for between 2 and 5 people. Set in the ancient Roman times, and basically you're just trying to build up sort of your piece of the empire, and the ultimate goal is to prove your devotion to the gods by completing various tasks and earning points for that. But one of the great things about Concordia that I think really moves it from a good game to a great game is the rules. These are all the rules. Half of this is examples of play. It mostly just explains. It's a super simple game. Most of this just explains in long form what cards in the game already say, and it's super simple. I've played it. I've done what I typically do with games like these and played it by myself. And I had a great time, and I look forward to playing it with maybe some other people. So
That'd be me.
Yeah, Concordia is for between 2 and 5 players. Takes about 90 minutes to play, and is meant for ages 13 plus. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. So 90 minutes, so about an hour and a half.
Yep.
What was I doing that day? Was I doing my nails? I was doing something.
I think you were doing somebody's nails. I can't remember.
Anyway, I just know that I had said, Mike, if you do this and that, it'll make later on in the day easier. And you said, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
And it was like another half an hour or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's great. Yeah. Sounds like a good game. And we played Dominion again the other night. I like Dominion.
Yes, Dominion's good.
I like Dominion. That's one that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get your engine going and
yeah.
And you don't stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Events from around the world. Okay, so there's still not a lot going on that I can read.
Oh.
There's stuff happening all over the place, but
yep.
It's in other languages and I don't know what they say.
Yep.
And I'll just say there's one that is coming up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, on Saturday, April 13th, 2019 at the Hillhurst Sunnyside Centre in Calgary. And that is, You
didn't write down what that actually was.
I know what it is. It's the Fiber Frolic, I think. Oh my gosh. I think it's the Fiber Frolic.
You wrote down when it is, where it is, but not what it is.
And I got the details for that off of Instagram, so I can't even go and look. But I'm okay. It's the Edmonton Fiber Fest. I think it's the Calgary Fiber Frolic.
Just go to the Hillhurst Sunnyside Centre in Calgary, Alberta on
Saturday,
April 13th.
I'm sure I will be mentioning it again.
Yes, maybe next week we'll maybe
as we get close. Well, it's April. You know,
Yeah.
we'll leave that again maybe until March or something. And the Creekside Yarn Festival was last week in Airdrie, Alberta, and I hear a good time had by all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good to hear.
All right.
Woohoo!
So, I guess this is where we say thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps. It helps us know that you appreciate what we're doing here. It helps YouTube know that perhaps they should show us to more people. Join us on, follow us on Instagram, Close Knit Family Knitcast. Join us on Ravelry. All the information for that is on the end card and in the description. Don't forget our code for Allison Barnes Yarn, CloseKnit20 until January 31st. Gets you 20% off your order. And lastly...
Nope.
Nope.
So also in the comments, help me out here and help me get Mike on board so we can do more of that fun content stuff.
I am so busy, Mom.
I know you are. I know you are.
Give me a date and a time and I'll do it, okay?
You are. He is. He's a very busy boy. But we have all sorts of fun ideas of things to do. And we'd like to do more of that because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, Mike.
Yep, I know. I know.
All right. So...
Keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.